This is Dr. David Shine, and welcome to Business Law 101. The tenant rights and duties determined by the lease. Generally speaking, you're entitled to a habitable place. One of the debates I'm having with a real estate agent right now is whether air conditioning is required as a habitable situation. I think most of us here in Houston would say, yeah, it's so hot and humid here that if we do not have our air conditioning working, we basically cannot occupy our house. And the flip side of that is the following. You have a rental house, the tenant has stopped paying rent. You cannot evict the tenant because of the federal ban on evictions. And you need a $4,000 air conditioning repair. This is a real case. So the question is, does the landlord with no rent coming in have to spend $4,000 repairing the air conditioning? And I said, that depends, and I haven't had an opportunity to see if there's any right and wrong to that, but you can see where the situation goes. So again, you couldn't cut off water, sewer, or electric, and you cannot go in and physically interfere with the tenant. But the issue about whether air conditioning is a critical element of habitability is not required. And then keep in mind that if you take the tenant out, it says the duty to pay rent is released in the event of eviction, actual or constructive. That is actually a legally incorrect statement. If a tenant is evicted for non-payment of rent, they actually owe rent until the property is re-let, or it's not released. It's the lease continues. They're just not in there. And so if the tenant is evicted and the property sits vacant for 3 or 4 months, as long as the landlord has continued to diligently try and rent that property for that time period, then they are entitled to collect the lost rent as well. Though again, if they're evicting a tenant, the likelihood is it may be quite difficult for them to recover any damages from somebody who doesn't have any money. It's last bullet here, again, is not really very common. Tenant may sublet or assign lease unless prohibited by the lease. I don't know of a lease that would not require either landlord approval or simply prohibiting sublet or assignment.